Today we're making some dungeon tiles for the Underdark. This is just one way that our 3D printable clay roller sets can be used to produce amazing custom pieces. Let's jump into it. We'll start by measuring, marking, and cutting out our 4-inch tiles on some foam board. Since the walls will be attached to the floor tiles, we'll keep them attached for now to make that easier. We'll score down the center line one way without cutting all the way through. For an extra clean edge, we can add some painter's tape around each tile, using PVA glue to keep all the edges down. This isn't necessary, but gives it a nice finished look. Then we can cut some slits in the tape to allow it to bend along the score line we cut earlier. Now let's bend the tiles at that score line, and use a bead of hot glue right inside that corner. Find something like a small box or anything square to hold the shape perfectly while it dries. Now for our clay tiles, we'll grab our air drying clay and start to roll it out using the plain rolling pin. I'll then add some 0.25 cm spacers onto the pin so we can get that thickness evened out a bit with a few more rolls. We chose the 4-inch jagged cave wall roller to use for the walls here, so we're ready to roll. We'll be sure to roll out enough for at least 2 4-inch tiles. I'm trying to use even pressure as I roll to keep the texture as clean as possible. Now, taking our 4-inch tile cutter, we can line up the edge with our texture and stamp out our wall tiles. And a little extra edge cleanup with a knife never hurts if needed. Now we can repeat that process for our floor tiles. I covered my cutting board with parchment paper to make it easy to remove each set without having to lift them up. Lifting or disturbing your tiles before they dry can make them wonky. I'll use the Spider Burrow Cave Floor Roller to make the floors here, which will be perfect for the effect I'm going for. We'll get these edges cleaned up and then leave all of our tiles to dry for a few hours. Every roller set we make comes with scatter models, and with our tiles now dry we can start laying out where we want them. Mixing a small bit of clay and some water, we can create a useful slurry, or slip, as referred to in the clay pottery world, to help attach our scatter models. I'll use an old paintbrush to add some textured transition from the tile onto the scatter models, and keep everything firmly in place. You can also press these models into the tiles before they dry, just be careful not to deform the tile edges when pressing them in. After letting those dry a bit, we're ready to attach our tiles to our foam board using some white PVA glue. This is when it really gets exciting, because our tiles are taking shape. I painted the backs and sides of the tiles to give them a uniform look, but this step isn't totally necessary. Then I added some PVA glue and threw some sand onto it to add another layer of texture and clean up the overall look. Onto painting, I started by covering the entire thing in a gray base coat. Then some dark purple tones onto the floors and walls. Some brighter blues and pinks for the mysterious mushrooms, because I really want those to pop. A cool purple should work for our stalagmites. Then dry brush and dry brush and dry brush some more. I'll use a few different layers of dry brushing, from pink to white to a more orange pink, to bring out all of the detail in the textures and create the illuminated effect I'm going for. I decided to add some touches of fluorescent paints around the scatter and on the edges to make it feel more alive. A little more dry brushing, of course. Then a final layer on the mushrooms with some fluorescent paint and glow pigment mixed in. And there we have it. Our custom Underdark tiles, ready to be played on in all of its strange and glowy goodness. I hope you enjoyed the video. I had fun making it, and I hope to see you again here soon for the next custom miniature maker build. Please like and subscribe. Bye for now.